Good evening. Welcome to the Charter Township of Brownstown meeting of April 7th, 2025. Will you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the clerk please take the roll call?
Supervisor Breeze,
Here.
Clerk Brinker here, Treasurer Ebert,
Here.
Trustee Allen is excused, Trustee Chapman,
Here.
Trustee Jones,
Here.
Trustee Killian.
Here.
At this time, may I have a motion for the regular board meeting minutes from March 17th, 2025?
A motion to approve the minutes from March 17th, 2025.
Support.
Motion by Chapman, supported by Jones. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carry. Next one is the minutes for the special work session on March 27th, 2025. Motion to support,
Motion to approve.
approve.
Motion to support.
Thank you. Motion by Killian, supported by Jones, to accept the work session minutes on March 27th. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the agenda approval for tonight, April 7th.
Motion to approve the agenda for tonight.
Support.
Motion by Chapman, supported by Eberth. All those in favor?
Actually, discussion.
Yes.
See, okay.
I apologize.
Hydrated.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carries. Please record Ms. Brinker's no. At this time, we have Donna Jensen here from the Trenton Veteran Memorial Library. You're a vet.
Hi, thank you so
Hi.
much for having me come in
Thank you
today.
for coming.
And we do have books about veterinarians and animals, so definitely find that there. Well, I'm here today to just remind everyone in Brownstown that the Trenton Veterans Memorial Library is your home library and that your tax dollars pay for your membership there. And also to share with you the exciting news that we received a grant for about $23,000 that we are using for outreach. And so Brownstown people can benefit from this by the computer classes that we've already started in the community center here in Brownstown. Also, we have started a delivery service that will include our Brownstown patrons. And this is for medically homebound patrons that are unable to go to the library. And we are able to deliver books and other media to those people. And we're also able to deliver hotspots for internet access to go along with those computer classes that you're getting in the community. So does anyone on the board have any questions for me about the library services that we offer to Brownstown patrons?
I just had a question. You're not here to collect my overdue fee fines because I saw you a
No.
week ago and you
I
didn't
know,
say anything.
right? Yeah, we always love seeing you, sir. And no, you don't have any fines at this time. And actually, that's one of the good things about your library services. We have all those downloadable books that you can get for free on your phone or any through apps, and never have a library fine with those.
Thank you.
You're so
Great.
welcome. Anyone else have any questions?
Can you explain just a little bit about the homebound delivery, how it works, and how
Right.
our residents are able to have that delivered to them?
Yes, absolutely. So they can access the application online, or they can send someone to pick it up for them at the library. I can mail that out to them. They can contact us by phone or email, and we can fill all that information out over the phone, whatever's easiest for the homebound patron. They will be able to get a library card without even coming into the library. They will have 3 months to get someone to pick it up for them. For that 3 months, they can do downloadable books and audiobooks. And then for the actual delivery of physical items, they can get started right away once we get that application. There's a form that they can fill out online that tells what books they want. They can also call us and we can take requests over the phone. And we have about 8 volunteers who are driving the books to the patrons where they're at.
Great.
That's really, really exciting. And I
It
know that
is.
there's a lot of seniors that are really looking forward to this, and we really
Mhm.
appreciate you putting this in
Thank
motion.
you.
And
Yeah.
especially the library cards, being able to get your library card
Mhm.
without actually having to go into the library. It's great
Exactly.
for our homebound seniors and for
Mhm.
people that maybe can't get out of the house. It's
Yep.
amazing. And our library has some great, really great programs if you want to check them out. And we do have a book return bin
Mhm. Yes,
here
we
in
do.
Brownstown in our community center.
Mhm.
So if you can't make it to the Trenton Library, you can drop your books off here in Brownstown.
Yep. And we would love to see all of you in the library, but if you can't get there, we really want to help you get your books. So give us a call and we'll get it all set up for you.
Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you.
Yancey.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it.
Yes,
Oh, it's
Thanks
good to
very
be here.
much.
Thank you.
Next, we have public forum.
My name is Edward Smith.
Excuse me. First up, we have Mr. Dennis Dupay.
Okay.
I'm hitting this. Are you ready?
I've been a proud Brownstown resident. for
Sir,
40
I'm sorry. Can you please state your name and
Yes,
address for the
certainly.
record?
Dennis.
Thank you.
Dennis Dupay. And as I said, I've been a proud Brownstown resident for 40 years. I've always appreciated the caliber of the people that we've had supporting us as our elected officials. And I certainly support fair compensation for the work they do on our behalf. However, like many residents, I'm disappointed by the optics of the manner in which you've decided to proceed the compensation review, which is on your agenda tonight. Creating an ordinance shortly after the election, establishing a committee appointed by the supervisor, approved by the board to evaluate your own compensation exposes you to conflicts of interest. Further, the compensation committee's conclusions will appear to take effect without requiring the board's approval on the record. In 2022, the police department introduced a fully transparent public information campaign on the township's website defending its request for a millage increase. The community responded with an overwhelming 2-to-1 margin of support for the proposal. I would recommend that the compensation committee follow the police department's example and enhance their webpage on the township site, presenting the basis and the rationale for whatever compensation actions it decides upon. Questions like, since these are part-time positions, how many hours are actually expended by each position each year? Is benefits part of the compensation package, which typically is not part of a part-time position? What are the compensation levels in comparable municipalities? I think that you will find that if you make your case, the community will honestly evaluate it and will support you in it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have a Jerry Lang.
Yes, I'm Jerry Lang. I live on Walloon Way in Bridgewater.
And in looking over your compensation package, I worked in the corporate world for many years. And if someone got a 10% raise, it was very good. When I heard of a 133% raise, if I would have went into my boss and asked for that, the next voice I would hear is security. It's mind-boggling how you can come up with these figures. Each of these people have a job description, and who evaluates them? Who is responsible for these figures? You, who? Nobody, everybody doing this? We need some explanation of how you arrived at these numbers. I mean, 133%, that's in Disney World's figures. It's ridiculous. I would hope that in some way you can recalculate what you have and be transparent with the people. If something is, sure, people deserve raises, absolutely. Got a lot of good people working here. But you're way, way, way out of line. I live in Bridgewater. There's 1,100 votes over there. Most of them know where they're at. But we've got a group right now of 451 people. We're going to shoot for 900. And we can make a difference in an election. So I would hope you take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Sue Harris.
My name is Sue Harris. I live at 20398 Gibraltar Road, former elected official from 2000 to 2008. I have some information I'd like to give to the supervisor.
Thank you.
As well as the township attorney. I'm requesting the township board rejects the increases in the salaries. There are procedural errors. I did pick up the minutes. They are unapproved. That is not in compliance with the Open Meetings Act. Each commission has to approve their minutes in a public forum, which means every commission, whether it's planning, zoning, salary compensation, they need to get back into a meeting and approve that. That was proven when I was an elected official, when the planning commissioner liaison, the stuff came to us a week after their meeting. There were errors. It was sent back. Steve Hitchcock at the time was the attorney, and he agreed with the Open Meetings Act. Salary Compensation Commission members, the ones that you have picked, they cannot be employed by any government entity or public sector, which are city employees, teachers, and professors. They cannot serve on that commission. I have the paperwork with me. So 4 of your members, 2 work for the city of Woodhaven, 2 are teachers or professors. So they shouldn't even have been there. So now my next point. I tallied up what I got, and the total amount for all of you in the budget would be $94,000 for raises. You know, you guys already have additional things as compensation, whether it be healthcare, educational expenses, travel expenses, a lot of those things. The trustees alone is $18,000. For the supervisor, clerk, and treasurer, it's $76,871. I don't understand how you can justify that. The duties have not changed. The population is down 9.9.
Can we please let Ms. Harris speak?
The population is 9.9%. So in the 20-year span, you know, the community hasn't really like doubled, or neither has the registered voters. A township manager was created in the supervisor's office to help the supervisor. The supervisor does not do the assessing part. A human resource director was created in the clerk's department, which
Yeah,
reduced
15
that. So this is not a good message you're sending to our employees that work 40 hours a week, or to the citizens of this township. Thank you.
Thank you.
Paul Camilleri.
Paul Camilleri. I live at 21711 Sylvan Avenue. First, I'd like to thank the clerk's office for their timeliness and transparency in providing information. I received 173 pages from the clerk's office and wanted to give a shout out to Deputy Clerk Amy Whipple, who emailed me on a Thursday night at 7 p.m. with all of this. I hope I'll continue to see the same service now that the clerk's office is really pushing for the FOA, Freedom of Information Act. Second, I'd like to thank former Supervisor Edward Smith. I don't know Mr. Smith, but I applaud him for utilizing social media to make voters aware of issues in the township. Even though the clerk's office did nothing wrong and posted notices in all the usual places, I would not have known about the board compensation issues that have become a hot topic if it wasn't for Mr. Smith's posts. So instead of feeling betrayed for rallying the troops, perhaps the members of this board should look at it from another angle. He's getting more voters like me involved. There is still a question that has been asked and I don't believe has been answered. How were the commissioners for the compensation committee selected for appointment? Now I have a copy of tonight's agenda and consideration of the recommendations of the compensation committee is on it. For those who don't know, the recommendations are trustees from 75,000 to 12,000, a 60% increase. Treasurer from 30,498 to 40,000, 31.2% increase. Supervisor from 36,856 to 65,000, a 76.4% increase. And the clerk from 30,495 to 70,000, a 129.5% increase. These are statutory positions, which is why our supervisor has another job. Paying full-time wages for these positions is inappropriate. And yes, 70,000 a year, the recommended clerk salary is the starting base salary for a full-time police officer in Taylor. I know this because the city of Taylor advertised it this week. After 20 years, I do believe that these positions are due an increase, but those increases should be reasonable, not at the absurd levels that are recommended. Over the past 20 years, this body has had opportunities to form a compensation committee and chose not to. A new administration shouldn't look back 20 years and expect increases related to inflation over time.
15 seconds, Mr. Camilleri.
I would ask that this board think long and hard about rejecting the recommendation of the compensation committee. Remember, if there's a vote tonight, tomorrow, next week, the results will probably be posted to social media.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sharon Marchesso, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Sharon M. Is there Sharon here? Okay. I'm sorry, missed one. Mr. Ed Smith?
I'm getting a call.
Thank you. Thank you. I reside at 19116 Parkwood Lane. I'm the former supervisor of Brownstown Township.
Your name, please.
I
Can you state your name, Mr. Smith, for the record?
thought you did that.
You have to.
Ed Smith. I'm here to speak on 3 items on the agenda. The first item is the paint and sip for the Woodhaven Brownstown Rotary. All the proceeds raised for this fundraiser will go to the Build a Bed organization that is in conjunction with Advantage Credit Union. And what it does is it builds beds for children downriver that don't have beds to sleep in. The next item I'm here to speak on is number 4, number 5 on the agenda. I hope the board finds it within themselves to vote the raises down and give the taxpayers a chance to digest and ask questions. I've been criticized for posting on the internet and Facebook. However, I did it so that the citizens would be informed and have a chance to offer an opinion. If you think that the raises are justified, take an opportunity to stand and defend them, but when you do,
include the total compensation. After all, it's a compensation commission. The other thing I'm going to speak to, because I was willing to put up with this when I was a supervisor. However, as a private citizen, I'm not going to be intimidated. I'm going to speak my opinion. I'm just wondering if I'll be able to leave this meeting without Trustee Chapman cursing me out in the hallway in front of my wife.
That's fine.
Pardon me? I am making the point, Supervisor. I don't appreciate being cursed out in the hallway when I come here to express my opinion about things I have a right to say. I did that. I put up with it when I was a supervisor. That gentleman there was the only person who tried to alleviate it. And it wasn't both sides. I initiated nothing. When I went over to Bridgewater to speak, he's waiting in the parking lot to accost me. When I was requested by the members, by the people living in Bridgewater to talk to them, he was wondering why I didn't get clearance from him. I'm not his boy. I am here to speak on the raises, but I feel he's getting more obsessed. So I am going to say something about it. I want to bring it to the attention of people. Thank you.
To the chair. Can I speak?
Anyone else?
Yeah. Excuse me, sorry. Mr. William Terrell? I see you in the hallway.
William Terrell, 17311 Pennsylvania Heights Drive. I'm just standing on behalf of the clerk's office. As an election worker, spouse of an employee, the time and labor that's put into that department preparing for all these elections and different things, you have to be there to actually understand the work that they actually go through. The time away from home from your spouse and your children. So as a resident, I'm in support of the clerk's office. Getting the wages. If you don't know what they do, you need to come and find out. Okay?
Excuse me.
Mr. Truell, if you could speak to the board,
All
please.
right, I got to write to my opinion. So I'm just saying on behalf of my cities also deserve bonuses for the work that they do. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's call to order, please.
Melissa Skinzel? You're going to wait? Do you want to go at the end? Or do you want to speak during the item? Okay, thank you. Karen Terlecki?
Karen Terlecki, 19188 St. Louis. Very impromptu attendance here. I do thank Mr. Smith for providing some information on Facebook. I have had my issue with the township and the Facebook posts and the lack thereof transparency with the South End. I have brought it to attention that Brownstown serves 2 high schools, not just Woodhaven. And I feel the Carlson High School students were remiss and was not satisfied with the response from the township on that. But with that being said, compensation is definitely something that all employers do need to take a look at. I myself have never experienced more than a 5% increase in my 30 years as a registered nurse. I also, as a full-time RN, do not receive lifetime medical benefits for working for a medical organization. So I find it very hard that a city employee that is not on the streets, firemen, police officers that are risking their lives but are protected in the walls of an office, to have medical benefits as a part-time employee paid for solely by their employer without any, copay. And I don't know, because I don't know what the compensation commission has put forth. However, I do feel that they need to really realign with the current socioeconomic status. We have residents across all demographics here. Social Security, we're on fixed incomes. Where do you expect the tax dollars to come from to support these huge increases of 60 to 133%. There's other things that the township should be focusing on than compensation. I think if we had seen some action taken, that we might feel that these raises are justified. But I think it's just a general feeling in the room that it's not very transparent. I myself didn't realize some of these positions are part-time positions myself. I'm on an HOA board for my subdivision. All of my tax dollars do nothing for my subdivision. They provide police and fire. They don't fix my streets. They don't fix my sidewalks. They do pick up my trash whenever I can get a hold of Waste Management for a bulk pickup. So it's very hard for the residents of the South End, which is Crystal Crossing, which is 200 homes, River Valley, and other HOAs, when our tax dollars don't directly benefit my roads, my sidewalks, my trip hazards.
15.
So just please, if you can not vote yes on these compensations today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Peter Vasilevskis. Vasilevskis. Okay. Tom McCune.
Good evening, Tom McEwen, 26278 Higgins Way. I was here at the last meeting. I listened to what everybody had to say. And tonight, I'm here to urge you what I said the last time. There's so much difference of opinion among board members that was said the last time and among people here tonight, that if you're not united in thinking this is a good idea, my recommendation, having sat on numerous boards and involved in this, is to take a pause. Vote against it tonight and then restart. There was a lot of discussion that if you don't do anything with this resolution, one way or the other, the resolution automatically takes effect. Or you can vote against the resolution, and then next November, you could do a start over. You could pass another resolution. You could do what everyone is asking you, be open, transparent, point a different compensation committee, and just start over. And then everyone would be more satisfied with the results. And so I'm urging you tonight, what I said the last time, you should pause. It's clearly not something that everyone's in favor of. And so why don't we just pause and start over in November? Let's have another meeting and then get other people to be on the compensation committee and have it open and have members that want to come for the township and talk about it. It seemed hasty to me as a member of the township. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
That's all I have for. That's it.
Anyone else have anything to say? Anyone in the hallway have any? Yes, come on up. Well, she followed it from sign in, but if you have something to say, come on up. Okay, come on.
My name is Dan Gwenda.
Wait,
My name is Dan Gwenda.
Excuse me, I can't hear him. I'm
My
sorry.
name is Dan Gwenda. I live on Indiana, 20841.
I'm sorry. Can you just spell your last name?
Spell it?
Yes.
Gawenda.
Thank you.
So my family and I, we moved there in 07. We unfortunately got stuck with the big housing market crash. But regardless, we've seen our taxes go up and up over the past 18 years. And we've done repairs to our house that some might say justify that, but we've also replaced some of the city sidewalks that we were told we had to replace, but yet we got penalized when the city caught wind of it through a permit, right, to repair our driveway, but yet you guys raised my taxes for doing repairs to city-owned sidewalks. I'm not sure how that math works for city officials. Kind of weird to me. But I like to study people. And as I sat back there, I kind of studied your guys's like expressions, and it almost seemed as if you guys looked right through the person speaking. It's almost like you guys looked right through the people here behind me, as if, first of all, I wonder who made up this ridiculous idea to give someone 100 and some percent raise. Like who on this panel could even think of doing something like that? I honestly, I think that's the most important question these people behind me are wondering. Like who concocted that idea? I see you all sit there and you just kind of stare at each other, and it's almost like you're waiting for the person to stop talking so you could just kind of follow protocol, like get these people out of here so we can get our raise. Who came up with that idea? Does anyone want to tell me? These are the thoughts these people behind me have. Like I'm simply asking for an answer. No one wants to give it. So you heard the
It's not that no one wants to give it, it's the rules and regulations of Robert's Order rules with concerning an Open Meetings Act. We have to give the public their opportunity to talk, which we are, and we want to listen.
Okay, so when I'm done talking, so at the end of my 3 minutes, will you answer my question? If I ask who came up with these
I can
ideas?
take your name and number and I will get back with you.
Why can't you just tell the people? Why tell me by myself off to the side? Why not just tell the people?
Mr. Foley?
Quite frankly, is this a legal question?
Yes.
Okay.
The state statute provides for the appointment of an officer's compensation commission by local governments. I got the mic. That indicates that local governments appoint commissions.
His mic's not on. I feel like I'm losing time.
You're fine.
Yeah,
Yes, there you go.
The state statute provides for the appointment of a officers, officials compensation commission. It's all statutory. It demands that the supervisor or mayor appoints the commission. That's then voted on and approved by the board. And how the commission works is determined by statute. They are charged to look at comparables, to discuss when the last raise was, if there's a raise, they make a determination. The determination comes to the board. It's either approved or disapproved. That's what the board does. They approve the appointment of the commissioners, and they take the results and they vote.
Okay, so how does someone like me, just the guy that works a lot of hours, find out the minutes of the meeting? Do I put in a Freedom of Information Act request to find out the conversations that were talked about to come up with this ginormous?
We'd have to ask the clerk.
It's like who would I talk to about?
Thank you, Kevin.
I'm going to put in a Public Information Act request to.
Please, everyone.
To ask for all of the information, minutes, notes, whatever was taken to come up with these raises. Who do I give that to?
So the minutes are public. They're on our website. The minutes from the Compensation Commission meetings, the minutes from our board meetings, the minutes from every meeting, Planning Commission, et cetera, they're all on our website. So minutes are public. If you would like more information, you absolutely can just give me a call or call my office.
And it'll show on those minutes who came up with the idea of these raises?
So minutes are a record of action. So it will say a discussion was held and it will say, these are the proposed rates, or I'm sorry, wages. And it will talk about motions and actions that are taken. It's not, minutes are not a detailed words. But the video for the Compensation Commission meeting, the second one, is on our website. So you can feel free
And
to
that'll
watch that.
show whose idea it was to come up with these
Correct. You can watch that and it's on our website. But there's a lot of information that the Compensation Commission looked at. Actually, I think one of the gentlemen said there was 100 and some pages. So you absolutely have every right to have that. And that includes what the Compensation Commission looked at, that their formula, they looked at a rate of inflation. They looked at salary history from this board all the way back from, I believe, like 1987. And so everything is available to you. They looked at comparable communities. They looked at everything. So it's all
Okay.
available.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything to say? Yes, come on up. Oh. We're going to have a purple clash in the
Yeah.
aisle.
My name is Joan
Hi,
Uhas.
Jo-
Most of us know me. I got here a little late, but from what I hear and what I've read, this just doesn't make sense to me. Lifetime benefits for part-time employees and the huge raises that everyone's going to be getting. You're going to price a lot of people out of their own houses because eventually, and it's going to start immediately, this is all going to go on our taxes. How else are you going to pay for the lifetime health care and the huge raises? Part-time employees usually don't even get health care. I work for almost full time. I don't get health care. I work a lot of hours. I'm lucky if I get a 10% raise, which is normal, not the crazy raises that you guys are talking about. So I don't know. I have people who are complaining about their taxes now, $8,000, $9,000 for a year. They got all these things that are going to be added to it. It doesn't make sense to me. That's it.
Thank you, Joan.
Diane Markert. I live in Bridgewater. I'm also on the board at Bridgewater, so I understand how a board works. One thing that I would say, it's pretty obvious here that this issue is creating bad blood between the board and the people that you serve. So that's never productive. I would say that many people here can appreciate that if there hasn't been a raise in a long time, people are entitled to a raise. The issue is the percentage of the raises being requested. That's what is offensive to most of the people here. The other thing I would say that occurred to me is that when the unions negotiate a raise, a lot of times it's done in incremental steps. So if a particular position is far behind in what they should be getting for compensation, rather than a bulk, huge increase in the percentage of a raise, perhaps incremental steps could be looked at. That would make things a little more palatable. Although like a number of the raises are really outrageous. But anyway, the incremental steps might make it more palatable for people to accept that. So that's something to consider. And of course, we want to be on, have a good relationship with the board. We want you to have a good relationship with us. So we just appreciate your thoughtfulness in this matter. It affects all of us. Thank you.
Ms. Parker. Anyone else to address the board? Okay, we'll move on to the agenda. At this time, item number 1 is Resolution 2025-08. This is to certify resolution of the membership or board of directors authorizing the application for the Woodhaven Brownstown Rotary for paint and sip.
Motion to approve the resolution to certify the board of directors of the Browns for the Rotary Paint and Slip.
Support.
Motion by Chapman, supported by Jones. Any discussion? All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right, roll call, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Brinker, yes. Eberth,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Breeze.
Yes. Next, we have a resolution 2025-09 declaring April 28th, 2025 as Workers' Memorial Day in recognition of lives lost or injured on the job and in support of safer workplaces.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Killian, supported by Chapman. Any discussion?
Eric, could you discuss that a little bit?
Yes, Mr. Chapman brought to our attention a resolution to support the workers in the unions who have injured, been,
Or killed at work.
so they're asking for our support.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Roll call vote?
Chapman,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Brinker, yes. Killian,
Yes.
Allen. I'm sorry. He's not here. Eberth,
Yes.
Breeze.
Yes. Next, we have a resolution 2025-10 requesting MDOT freeway guide signage for Brownstown Township.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Brinker, supported by everybody. Who supported that? Mr. Jones. Yeah, just real quickly, I'd like to state what this is and keep everyone informed. We have asked Senator Camilleri to help us put Brownstown on the map. And if you go up or down 75, you'll notice only one sign that says Brownstown. Doesn't include the middle section, doesn't include the south section. So we've asked for help to recognize Brownstown on each exit within the boundaries of Brownstown. So that's what this is. Roll call?
Killian,
Yes.
Brinker, yes. Chapman,
Yes.
Eberth,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Breeze.
Yes. Item number 4, consider of recommendation of Brownstown Township Official Compensation Commission related to the Office of Township Trustee.
Before I make the motion, I'm going to ask, with your permission, Supervisor, that we ask the attorney, because I want to make sure we get this right. If we do a motion to, we have to reject, if we're going to reject the wage
Please,
commission's
everyone, please.
recommendation. Should I be making a motion to reject it, even though it may pass, or should I make a motion to pass it? I just want to get the right terminology. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can either make a motion to approve, which would take 4 votes, to approve, or you would make a motion to reject, which would take 5 votes to reject.
Oh.
So if you make it to approval, it goes to 4, then you have to vote on the rejection.
So it'd be quicker just to do a motion to reject?
Get the same place.
Okay, all right. So everybody understand that answer? All right, so I make a mo,
Well, is it 2 because we are short a member?
5 members to reject that are
Even though we're missing 1 member? Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that.
so I'm going to make a motion to reject the commission's recommendations as to trustee.
Support. Support.
Motion by Eberth, supported by Jones. Any discussion?
Through the chair, I just wanted to, for minute purposes, your motion is to reject the Compensation Commission's recommendation
As to trustees.
as for trustees. Okay.
And if I may clarify before we vote, that if you are against it, it is a yes vote. That's the way the motion reads. All those in favor?
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
yeah, it's roll call, but I have a comment.
No, it's
I was
not
gonna
roll
say.
call. Go ahead.
You got it highlighted.
It's not roll
Yes.
call.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I just want to say, so I'm not in favor. I'm sorry. Let me start over. I'm confusing myself. If you've been following the meetings before in the work session, I'm in favor of the trustees only. I'm making a motion to reject because that's the proper way to do it. So people are saying he's making a motion to reject, and then I'm going to vote against my motion because I'm in favor of the trustees getting it. So I want people to understand that part I'm for them getting.
It's very confusing. It's very
Can you make
confusing.
this simpler?
It's very confusing.
Why don't you forget that thought, be simple, and make a motion to approve the increase for the trustees?
It's easier.
Separate, okay. Can I redo the
Yes.
motion then?
What is your motion?
It's a motion to approve the increase for the trustees only.
Mr. Jones, do you have
No.
you don't approve that motion?
Repeat that.
A motion to approve the wage commission's recommendation for trustees increase.
No.
Do we have a second?
All right.
Through the chair, I'll second it for discussion purposes.
Seconded by Brinker. Discussion?
So we have listened, and I can only speak for myself, we have listened to the residents. We followed the law and we followed the Township Act and how we were supposed to do this. The law and the act kind of, they tie our hands as to how we're doing this. And please, please. Can I finish, please? However, although we followed the law and the act, we are listening, and I can speak for myself, I am listening to the residents. And I understand where you're coming from. I absolutely understand where you're coming from. The only problem I have with the way it's on the agenda tonight, I believe that the board absolutely has the right and should vote on this. Your board members should absolutely vote on this. I don't agree with splitting it. I agree that the board it should have been on the agenda as one, because that's how the Compensation Commission presented it. The Compensation Commission, when they presented it and in their minutes, it was a package deal. And they specifically asked at the meeting, as board members were at that meeting and heard the Compensation Commission asking, is this one thing? This is their recommendation, the raises for each position. So I don't think it's okay to give raises to certain people and certain not. If the board votes no on everything, that's absolutely fine, right? But I don't think it's correct to split it. And I think the residents have spoken. I think everybody in this room has had an opportunity to speak on it. But the Compensation Commission, they asked that specific question, when they came up with their recommendation for trustees, could they have more time to look at different positions on the board? And they were told no. So the Compensation Commission did the job we asked them to do, but now we're here today on a vote. And my opposition is to splitting it. I don't think splitting it is fair. I think we should look at it as a whole, just like it was presented by the Compensation Commission. So that's just.
No. And then may I speak?
Of course.
And I appreciate it. My position all along, and I don't want to repeat, the clerk let me drone on, as my wife said at the work session last week. And those of you who attended or listened, I noticed some of your eyes were shut by the time I was done. But the trustees had asked my position many months ago about their compensation. I thought they deserved an increase, not the three, I consider them executives, but the trustees, because I was a trustee. And as I said before, when I need something done, if I can't do it, I have a whole staff. I could tell my deputy, you're going to have to follow up on this for me. That's a nice benefit, right? That I have a staff that can do it. As a trustee, when I first got elected, and I asked the supervisor at that time, Art Wright, what do I do if I don't get this information? He said, well, you come here and get it. You're your own staff. And so to do it right, you do have to do that. And I know the trustees go to all the dedications, they're on different committees. I see the minutes, they're working hard. So I always supported that. I don't support I call them the executive, the three, the treasurer, clerk, and supervisor. And I made it clear. I put all my reasons, I stated it. So regardless of what the board's going to vote, I don't know what the trustees are, where they're going to go with it. I'm going to support it for the reason I'm going to stick behind what I said before and support it when the time comes to vote.
Thank you.
You guys do know that you work for us, right?
Right.
I call the vote.
Take a roll call vote.
I'm not doing a roll call vote right now. May I, motion by Eber, supported by Brinker. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Opposed?
Nay.
Mr. Killian?
Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Should it be a roll call?
No, I called for a vote. So
And
right
we-
now I have Eberth and myself and the trustees. I didn't hear a vote.
Voting it down, the increase.
Mr. Chapman,
Nay.
Nay.
did you say nay?
Nay.
Yes.
Okay, motion fails.
So, well, hold on. So procedurally, Mr. Attorney, so now a motion to reject, because you need 5 votes to reject. So, everyone follow that? He said, do the motion to accept first.
Please,
We're
We
gonna
will
go by
follow
our
the
attorney.
attorney.
So it's a motion. So I now we'll do the second step. That's what I was trying to say before. So I would now make a motion to reject the commission's recommendations.
motion by Eber, supported by Chapman to reject the commission's suggestion. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Eber.
It
We
rejected
just
it.
turned down
Turned it
the,
down.
we just turned down the trustees raise that was suggested by the Salary Compensation Commission. You're welcome.
All right,
Okay.
that's next.
But yes. Please. We do not have to have a roll call under law. The supervisor chairs the meeting and runs the meeting. The supervisor runs the meeting. Okay, and I said who voted what and what the vote was. So all of us voted to reject the Salary Compensation Commission recommendation for the trustees. Next, we have the consideration of recommendation of Brownstown Township officials' compensation related to the office of supervisor, clerk, and treasurer.
Motion to reject the recommendation of the compensation committee as to supervisor, clerk, and treasurer.
Thank you. Motion by Eberth, supported by Chapman. All those in favor?
Through the chair, just for a minute, taking purposes, so we don't get confused again. So the motion is to reject the Compensation Commission's recommendation.
Yes, this time it's to reject.
To reject.
One step.
Okay, great. Sandy, did you get that? Awesome, thank you. And that was made by
Eberth,
Eberth, supported by Chapman. Okay, motion to reject it.
the
Okay.
motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the authorization of the township manager to sign a 33rd District Court Work Program Agreement. Are you familiar with what I'm saying here? The court has a work program and they can, the court program requests the township to send in a form of the work program that we would, or the work that we would like the program to do. So
Motion
this
to approve.
Support.
motion by Eber, supported by Brinker. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Number 7 is the township property liability insurance renewal.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Brinker, supported by Chapman. All those in
No,
favor?
Through the chair. We have our insurance agent here. I don't know, Melissa, are you still here? Did you want to speak on this? Yeah.
If she does, if we don't, do we have any questions?
Does anybody have any questions regarding this?
Nope.
Okay.
Shelley
You're all
does a
set.
good job.
But thank you for being.
Yeah,
here.
Thank you.
Thank you for, yes, thank you for that, Melissa.
Motion by Brinker, supported by Chapman. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the department reports. Supervisor, no report. Clerk, we have a budget amendment, 2025-09, to recognize the receipt of additional revenue as part of the auction sale of obsolete and or outdated fire department equipment $17,989. Good job, Chief.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Brinker, supported by Chapman. All those in favor,
Roll call.
roll call, I'm sorry.
Eber,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Brinker, yes. Chapman,
Yes.
Breeze.
Yes. Next, we have a budget amendment 2025-10 to recognize the receipt of additional revenue as part of the auction sale of obsolete and/or outdated fire equipment, department equipment in the amount of $23,100.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Chapman, supported by Killian. Roll call vote, please.
Brinker, yes. Chapman,
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Ebert,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Breeze.
Yes. They're both fire.
Mhm.
It's old equipment that the fire department had that. I don't know. I don't know. Mr. Chief?
One's going into the capital account, the other one is going into the operations account. So they have to be two separate.
Thank you. Uh,
Board information
May
for the clerk.
I have a motion for the board information under the clerk's account, report?
Motion to read.
Motion by Eber, supported by Killian. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the treasurer's report, disbursements from March 27, 2025. The first is to pay of utilities due prior to the April 7th board meeting, $93,013.74.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Brinker, supported by Chapman. Roll call vote, please.
Jones.
Yes.
Killian,
Yes.
Ebert,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Brinker, yes. Breeze.
Yes.
Can you?
Next, we call that Brinker by Chapman, right? And a roll call.
Brinker by Chapman, yes.
And a roll call, please.
We just did it. For item number.
Next, we, for item 2.
C1. We haven't done C2 yet.
Special land approval.
I'm so sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
Disbursements for April 7th, 2025, $2,331,626. It's a big number. Mr. Ebers, whatever you wrote.
Motion to approve the disbursements of April 7th
Go
in the
say
amount
it.
of $2,331,626.02.
Thank you. That's why you're treasurer.
I'm sorry. There was support by Chapman?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Roll call vote, please.
Killian,
Yes.
Brinker, yes. Chapman,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have Alan on here. Ebert,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Breeze.
Yes. Next, we have the Community Services Department report. First item is a special land use approval for 17000 King Road.
Motion to approve the special land use approval for 117,000 King Road.
Support.
Motion by,
Mr. Chairman, could you include the conditions that were placed? by
Or,
the
and the conditions that were placed on it by the planning commission.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Through
is
the,
that acceptable,
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, it is.
through the chair, Mr. Chapman, can you just repeat your, Motion.
Special land use approval for 17,000 King Road with the conditions mentioned by the planning commission.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the site plan approval for 17000 King Road.
Site plan for approval 17,000 King Road with the specifications of the planning commission.
Support?
I'll support that.
Supported by Brinker. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have board information for the Community Services Department.
Motion to read and file.
Support.
Motion by Killian, supported by Brinker. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the Recreation Department. There's a request approval of the purchase of 2 club cars for recreation events from Midwest Golf and Turf in the amount of $17,350.
Motion to approve.
Motion,
Support.
motion by Jones, supported by Eberth. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have board information.
Read and file.
Support.
Motion by Brinker, supported by Jones. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sure. They use them, and I don't know if Teresa's there, they use them during events to take people back and forth. For example, our festival that we had last summer, it's all over the campus. So if we have an injury, if someone, an elderly person or someone with disability, they're there to help them out. Did I answer that? Did I forget anything? Thank you. Yes, of course. We don't, do we? Next, we have, do we vote on that? Do we vote on that?
We did vote on that. It was,
Yes.
yes, we did vote on that.
Thanks.
Alright.
Next, we have the board information for the Recreation Department.
Motion to read and file the board
Support.
information.
No, we did board information
did.
already.
We did that.
We
yeah.
did. I,
That was you and me.
yes. I was-
Next, we have the Public Works Department. Approval to purchase of a 2025 F-150 from Longhammer Ford of Awassa in the amount of $50,330. And before anyone says anything, this is through the state. My deal.
Motion to approve the purchase of, excuse me, the 2025 Ford F-150 for the Department of Public Works.
Support.
Motion by Chapman, supported by Brinker. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have the approval of RVP construction to extend water main replacement on the west side of Stofflet.
Motion.
Please, I've asked several times. In the amount of 200,000, 2,000, I just can't give numbers. $298,320.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion by Eber, supported by Killian.
Through the chair. I was just going to say, if Mr. Janoski wanted to speak on this at all, and if anyone has any questions, if you just want to give us a brief update on it, probably better than the board.
No, so we approved the project last year for the other side.
Mhm.
And since then, we've had a water main break, or 2 now. I think we're up to 4 in the area total over the last
Okay.
year. And the other side literally has a water main that runs within 5 feet of a lady's house. So I want to, again, same kind of thing, abandon it, cut it away from the houses, move it towards the road. It makes sense to do it all at the same time. We got a quote for it. The contractor said they'll keep the same prices and they won a little bid last time, so just do it all at once.
Okay, thank you.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Well, I got any other questions?
Who made that motion?
Me.
Mike, and who supported
Eberth
it?
by Killian.
Okay, thank you.
Isn't this the north end? No,
South
south
end,
end.
south
This
end.
is the
On
south
the west
end.
side of Stowflet. Mhm.
Yes.
Stowflet is just south of West Road, east of Telegraph.
We were in the south end. We were way off.
It's in the north end. It's the condos across. From the
Oh,
hospital.
right. Okay. Brentwood in through there where Wyandotte Hospital or Wyandotte Henry Ford is.
Mhm.
It's across the street from there, south of West Road. Okay. Did we vote on that?
I thought we did.
Okay.
What
Next, we have approve the attached easement agreement with DTE for township-owned property parcel ID number 70-171-02-0015-000.
Motion to approve the attached easement agreement with DTE.
Will you repeat that parcel number? No, don't.
Okay, not a problem.
Support.
Supported by Jones.
Yes.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval to send to auction a retired crane truck. VIN number, ready? 1, F as in Frank, T as in Tom, W as in white, X as in zebra, 3, B as in boy, 60, Edward. Yeah, that was really wrong. Sorry. B 60 A is an apple 43207.
Tire machine.
Oh, and the tire machine and
Wheel
wheel balancer to auction.
Motion to send a retired truck with the tire machine and wheel balancer to auction.
Support.
Motion by Chapman, supported by Killian. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Peters, would you? Yes, ma'am. But we really don't allow it, but we will tonight. Yep.
It's a gas station
Ca-
party store. At King and Allen. It was approved before. All right?
Thank you. Mr. Peters, take the floor.
Sure, thank you. Just real briefly, as I brought up at a previous meeting, today started the beginning of our annual audit. Plant Moran was here at our facilities and will be here for approximately 3 weeks. It usually takes on site to complete their work. So we're accommodating them and hustling to make sure we're getting them the information they need. And obviously their results and our prepared financial statements will be presented to the board usually sometime in midsummer, but a little bit later this year in a few months. But they're on site now, so if there's any questions or anything you wish to bring to the auditor's attention, they will be on site for the next 3 weeks. One of the other items that I mentioned at the last board meeting had to do with the county's road initiative that they were trying to kick off. They did allocate some funding to go to local township roads. They are requiring a match from the township in order to access those funds. We're working now with Wade Trim to put together a proposal to see if we can get leverage some dollars to do some pavement repairs in our subdivisions, as much money as they'll allow us to get. As soon as we hear back from the county on the results of that application, it'll come back to this board in an intergovernmental agreement. And we'll certainly have to do some work with budget amendments to find all of the matching funds necessary to leverage those road dollars. So stay posted on that, and we'll continue working on it. The other item that I know, this goes back a couple of years now, the feds had opened up the ability to access the formal .gov domains that that government entities are able to access. We, at that time, opted in to receive a .gov domain, but because of some of our IT limitations at the time, we were unable to make that transition. Since we have been able to make the necessary update in our equipment, and now that everybody has been moved over to Office 365, we're now at a point where we're able to make the move to our .gov domain. It's not going to happen immediately, but coming soon, we will become brownstownmi.gov. The old addresses associated with emails will still work. It will just be something that over time will slowly move toward that .gov. So nothing should change directly that as far as our operations, but over time you'll see the .gov become the domain that we'll be using for our operations. And then I guess as things get updated and we move forward, we'll switch over to that new domain. So something you'll see hopefully relatively soon here. That took a little more time than we thought to get there, but we'll have that accomplished shortly here. With that, it completes my report.
Thank you. Board awareness, reminder that the yard waste collection begins the week of April 7th, which I guess that's this week. Township offices will be closed on Friday, April 18th in observance of Good Friday. Spring cleanup will be held May 5th through the 16th. During the 2 weeks, garage sales are not permitted to have permits, right? Yeah,
You don't need permits, right?
right. You don't need them. Don't call the clerk. Call the treasurer. During the 2 weeks, an additional bags may be placed outside of a 96-gallon cart at no cost. Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Jones, supported
I
by
want to say something.
Chapman.
Mr. Jones.
Mr.
I'd like-
Jones,
I'd like-
Mr.
I'd like
Jones.
to say something
Yes, sir. Go.
before we close this meeting.
Yes, sir.
One, I want the people and residents to know that one, we work hard for you. This board all work together at making you guys make you proud of what we do. Okay, and you will see, and I guarantee you, you look around, we attend everything that goes on in Brownstown we possibly can, and we support all committees, all times, and just know that we're there for you. So when you see us somewhere, you never know where I'm going to be. I show up at all events, all the other board members show up at all events, letting you know that you put your trust in us. When I ran for office, okay, that's what I ran for. I ran for your trust and my word. Okay, if I say I'm going to do something, we're going to do it. And this board, we're going to all do it together. So we're all together. It's not just the board here. It's all of us together. So this back, forth, no, we have to do it together because we need you just like you need us. Okay, because you become our voice. You know, you tell us something, you know, hey, you can get a hold of us. You can get a hold of the supervisor anytime. You know, so just remember that we're here for you. And I'd like to thank you for attending tonight's meeting too.
Thank you. Motion by Jones, supported by Chapman to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you for coming.